it is time for a sketchbook tour. For this sketchbook, I didn't think this time would come, but it is here. It is the second video of 2025. My very first video of 2025 was actually finishing the pages in this sketchbook. So just before I open this sketchbook, I'm going to go over the stickers on the front and back. At the top, we have two holographic stickers. These are actually sold in my shop. This is a part of the Kingdom Keys set, but it is soft matte. And this one is actually sold as a big sticker with a different holo foil on it. These are just test stickers. I always have a pile of defective stickers or stickers to like test new things on, and this one was testing out the star holo foil. This washi tape is by Bailey J. It is the Lunar Moth washi tape. We have a very old second class stamp. It's not valid anymore, so I thought that it would make a good addition to my sketchbook. Here we have a Taylor Swift sticker. I'm going to have to remember the artist. I will stick it on the screen if I can remember it. Then we have another Kingdom Key sticker. This one is for Avis. The other one was Mariposa. They are two opposing kingdoms. This one has the holographic too. Another one of my stickers. This one is the treasure chest. Then on the back, we have two stickers and a piece of washi tape. So this piece of washi tape, it's from an old set that I got. I think it was the Prince set. We have another Taylor Swift style sticker. I'm pretty sure if I go into my Redbubble account, I'll be able to find the artist for this, because these are actually Redbubble stickers. For long-time supporters of my channel, you might recognize the work and name Canary Witch. And then we have a Slimming World Slimmer of the Week metallic sticker. So first page, I'm just going to go over it a little bit, mainly because I got some new things for Christmas, including a mini like printer that connects to my phone. So I was printing out some little things here and there. So you can see up here with the Zoe Marriner art. But also for Christmas, I got a wax seal kit. And I was just playing around, messing with the wax seal kit. The wax seal kit actually came with this like gold pen that you could actually brush over the raised part of the designs. And I actually got an extra seal with a Z on it. So what I plan to do with that is, for any traditional commissions going forward, 2025 onwards, I was thinking of including a wax seal on it, kind of like a certificate of authenticity kind of thing, just to make the experience a lot more fun. So this sketchbook was actually started in 2023, July 2023. It was actually started on the first holiday abroad in like 10 years. And I went to Tenerife. This is Adeki Beach. This little observational study done in my Himi gouache. I did a little bit of visual journaling, and I saved the visual journaling mainly for my holidays. So you'll see it a couple of times in here. This is one of the first few times. On the second night of my holiday, there was this incredible sight of the moon. It was like kind of cloudy and it was like bouncing. Light was just bouncing off of all the clouds and just, oh, it looked incredible. I had to paint it. The mint chocolate chip gelato, give me more of that. So this is also in gouache, I believe. This was in watercolour. So this was my first time trying out my watercolour palette that I built. And this is that palette. In here we have the Daniel Smith introductory set and some White Nights watercolours as well. I'm not sure if anybody can read my handwriting, but this is a peach snap. I personally don't drink alcohol all that much, if at all, if I can help it, but this was on holiday. I thought I would try a little bit. More journaling. There was loads of pigeons. There was also a fly that just would not leave my dad alone. This was the view from our room. I did some little studies of the food, especially the desserts. They were nice. Up here we have some of my characters. So I sat in the hotel room one of the evenings and was like, I miss my Sims. So I'm just going to use my sketchbook to do a little bit of planning. These are two little headshots of Pyra. So after her breakup with Jaden in the story, I was thinking she could change her hairstyle. Now obviously I didn't have my computer with me, so I had to draw what was in my mind. But this definitely shows I can't draw a character consistently. I would say this looks more like Pyra than that one. I think it was actually meant to be something here, like in this blank space, but obviously that didn't end up happening. Then we have a draw this in your style. This is the hashtag I wrote at the top so I could remember it, and the date. But there's a little frog at the top. Oh, it's so cute. I really like this one. I think the way that the watercolour looks in this one, I really, really like. It just looks so good. There's something about watercolour texture that I just really enjoy. So next we have a picture of Yumi. So at the time I went on holiday, I was doing a thing in my Sims Instagram where I was doing story posts of Micah and Yumi's wedding, and I would draw like counterparts to the Sims screenshots that I was taking. I still do that from time to time. I really enjoy the differences between what the game can achieve and what my mind can achieve. Up here we have a little bit of a royal kind of portrait thing. I'm really, really tempted to actually make this into like a piece of decor for Loka. This is actually a gouache piece, and you have the profiles of Jonathan, his daughter Loki, or Locally, and her son, Kai. My Kingdom Key sticker of Loka. A picture from the plane window. So here I was doing a similar thing to what I did with the Loka royals, but this time it's quite an interesting one because you have two separate royal families. On this side we have the Artro royals, and on this side we have the Henlon royals. Now they actually combine with the marriage of these two characters, Taifi and Hayako, and they have a daughter named Kiyomi who will be the queen of both Henlon and Artro at some point in the future. Another draw this again. So this is a piece I did 2019, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I can't quite remember. It's either 2019 or 2018. And I really love that sketch. So much so that I put it on my business card. But this is a draw this again picture of it, and I'm not entirely sure I like it better than the original. Yeah, I still like the old sketch more. Just a personal preference. Then we have some owl sketches. Her name is Kione. I hope I'm saying that right. She's a character in Celestial Royals' story. One of my characters, Sophia, is actually inside her world and her stories, so our stories are kind of connected. And Kione is the messenger owl. Then we have a Draw This in Your Style on this side by Raya Art. I don't know, I just really loved the colour scheme with this. It was so immaculate. It was amazing. But also around that time, Eddsworld Surf and Turf Wars Part 2 had came out, and oh my god, Tom looked so cute in his Queen Bee outfit. I had to draw it. He looked so precious and proud of himself that I was like, yep, I'm drawing it. I'm surprised that I think this is one of the only Eddsworld drawings in here. Will they start to invade my sketchbook again? Probably. and with Tord on the horizon for 2025 maybe. Oh, my sketchbook is in danger. Then we have some expression challenges. Now, I completely ruined these with Karen watercolor markers. I don't like the way that these look. Okay, I like them before I put the color on them. And we had Hawk and Sparrow, father and son. Then we have some sketches that just didn't end up going the way that I wanted them to. So these two sketches are of Silas and Sophia. Silas and Sophia being a couple from Celestial Rose's story. So there is a little bit of a story behind this sort of pose. Now this was kind of like a horse riding pose idea. Now around this time, in terms of The Sims, Horse Ranch had literally just come out. There was no pose packs anywhere. Hey, why not try posing Sims characters in Blender? Yep, I did that. So this was basically what was in my brain. And then of course I had to draw some Silas and Sophia because those two have my heart. They're so cute. This pose that I was crafting out of the Sims models in Blender was for them. I'll leave a link to the story post where it was used, and it is perfection. It is everything I imagined and more. But if you play with the Sims and would actually like to use that pose pack, this is what the pose pack looked like in the end. If you play The Sims and would like this pose pack in your game, I'll leave a link to it down below in the description where you can download it. And we have a picture of Sophia because I'm obsessed. So a little bit of background on Sophia, since I've talked quite a lot about her. She is actually an ancestor of Micah. Micah being the crown prince of Verona. I will put up a visual of a family tree to help me explain where she is on the family tree. So this is just a headshot of Sophia. These were warm-up sketches, I'm pretty sure. I think this was a little draft for a Scrawlbox piece, which actually did end up being Sophia in the end. Oh, we have swatches of the Jackman's handmade watercolours. If you're a fan of granulating watercolour, Jackman's have you covered. They're gorgeous. They're like magic. They're like two separate colours in one tube of paint. It's insane. We also have a little bit of Inktober sketching here. We have more swatches over here. So one of the main things I remember about that craft fair and picking up these colours is that Mark Jackman, the founder of Jackman's Watercolours, told me about the colour mulberry and how it was supposed to be kind of like a similar but not so similar version of Daniel Smith's Moonglow. On the left, we have Daniel Smith's Moonglow, and on the right, we have Jackman's Mulberry. I'm pretty sure here I was trying to mix some of the colours together. And here we have some concepts for character tarot cards. So I do have the sun and the moon already done, but I wanted to do other characters as other tarot cards. The Tower, the World, Judgment, and the Star. Now, fun fact about this one, the pose of this one actually comes from a piece of album photography from Taylor Swift's song Untouchable. I've previously drawn this like many years ago, and the character looks very similar to this one in that old piece. I'm pretty sure that this character is supposed to be Isla. I'm not entirely sure who the character is in the really old piece. Then we have like an Art Deco kind of inspired piece. I really love that sort of style. It's so pretty. So this is Yulia, Queen Yulia of Mariposa. Now the one thing that I was really mixed on when it came to this piece in general when I was doing it is this purple haze that it's gone on top of it. Now it looks really pretty. That was actually done with the Jackman's Petal Shadow. There's just something about it that just makes it look so much more magical. In the background, we have Yulia's favourite flower, and then these characters in the stained glass are actually her siblings in the line of succession. So you have Argus, Holly, and Sky. I do think Pieris would be on this stained glass window as well, but he would be behind Yulia. Then we have some sticker designs. So this was around the time that I was planning to add to my sticker collection. Little did I know that later on that some of these sticker designs would actually become keychains as well. So as you can see, the idea for the candles are up here, and they turned into this sticker right here. I find it so interesting actually seeing the first concept sketch and then the final piece. At first I sold the matte version of these stickers. They're hand cut and it's a lovely soft matte vinyl, but I also sell a holographic shard. Just look at that sparkle, I love it. As for this mug wrapped in a peony flower, I actually sell it in 2 different variants. Of course we have the sticker with the matte and the holographic version. Whenever the holographic film is added, it always makes the design like pop a lot more. The deeper colours are just a result of the shinier finish. But I not only sell this design as a sticker, I also sell it as a keychain. Seeing these is like a huge before and after. It's insane. Also, if you're interested in anything that I sell in my Etsy shop, I will link the Etsy shop down below. All the stickers are hand cut by me. This headshot up here is supposed to be a warm-up sketch of Typhy. At the time of doing these sticker designs, I had conventions coming up. And I had this tray that had 15 spaces available for the stickers. I knew 2 were going to be used up for my tarot card stickers. 1 was going to be for a piece of signage, and then the other 12 were free. I believe at the time the only stickers that I actually had in my roster were the bottle, the amber crystal, and the zodiac. There were some designs that were already done but needed edits to get into the form of a sticker, whereas some of the designs were completely brand new, like this feather, very much like this feather design. Here you can see a little bit more of a detailed view of the candles. Over here we have a treasure map. So this was actually going to be the map of Mariana. I've done quite a few pictures of Mariana's map, and there's been multiple versions over the years. As the character universe is ever evolving, I will be changing up the map. Obviously, the way the map looks right now in the sticker won't be changing, but if it ever changes by a significant amount, I would update this design as well. In the final version, I love the addition of like the little pirate ship. I think it's so cute. My camera is like not focusing, but okay. Then there's the little seashell. So this is what the seashell looks like. Let's focus the camera. It comes in matte and holographic as well. So pretty much all of my stickers come in matte and holographic. I am considering just doing holographic, but I'm not sure. I like the fact that you can have it both in matte and in holographic, and it offers a cheaper option. But at the same time, it's also double the inventory. So I don't know, I'd like your thoughts. Also, down here you can see a treasure chest opening. Now, I remembered that I had drawn a treasure chest before in an Inktober piece, and I was like, yeah, I will just take that and turn it into a sticker. So I took it from the art piece that I'd already done for Inktober, and I turned it into a sticker. When I was finding the best format to put this onto my sticker paper to print out, I didn't realise that some of them are the other way, so like flipped horizontally. However, it doesn't really matter because this design is actually one of the few that work in the opposite direction as well, so I really looked out with that. Then we have some fairy sketches. This is my character Iris. She's quite the tragic character. She's in love with the Crown Prince, but she doesn't see herself as a queen, so she actually rejects quite a few proposals from Argus. We get on to Has Been Hotel fan art. Now this was actually done at the very first convention of the year at Birmingham Anime and Gaming Con. At this point in time, Hazbin Hotel had literally just been out for like a week and a half tops, and Hazbin Hotel fever was just all over that convention hall. It was nuts. So of course I had to draw it. It's actually one of the few shows I've watched within the time span of it coming out and not 4 years later. I'm sorry, I'm one of those people who waits until like years later to see something. So you have Emily. This actually shines with my colour shifting gel pens. I had very limited supplies when I went to the convention, so I just made do with what I had, and oh my god, I love the inclusion of like some of the line work done with this colour shifting gel pen. Just, oh, I love it. I love it. We have Lucifer, Vox, and Rosie. Down here we have Cherry Bomb. I was thinking of other sticker designs at that point. And here is a picture of Ruby. I remember this took so long to do. I can't remember whether this is actually of my character Ruby or Rayla, but in terms of drawing this one, I remember it taking so long. It took majority of my time at the convention, whether it was the first or second day, I can't remember, but I was very dead at the end of this convention. Again, I'm fangirling over the watercolour texture because it looks to die for. Oh, we have some gouache. I think that's watercolour, but I can't be too sure. It might be gouache. Can't remember. This is my character Cressida. She is actually like Sophia. She is actually an ancestor of a kingdom. So she is actually a Mariposa ancestor. Sophia was Verona's ancestor, whereas Cressida is a Mariposa ancestor. Okay, so here we have Pyra. I'm pretty sure that this was actually with the Scrawler Box markers. Those watercolour brush pens with like the two sides to it. I can't remember what number that was, but I was like, oh, the colours in this are actually pretty decent to do a picture of Pyra. Just test it out. Then we have my character Pearl. My Pearly girl. Originally when I was doing this piece, I was going to leave it as a sketch, but I was like, oh, I'll line it, see how far we can get with this. So the colour is actually done with pens in this, like really cheap ink rollable pens. Ink rollable pens are so great. You can actually get so many different varieties and textures and stuff, and oh my god, I want to do a video with them. So these are all the props of Loka. Around this time, this was like May, I was actually in the process of making a game. I really want to do a video on the game process, like making some stuff, like 3D modeling, using Unreal Engine. I have a lot of like footage from this part of the year, and making this game prototype was a huge part of my 2024. I was on that boot camp from April to July, and then the boot camp was extended from mid-July to mid-October, essentially because the showcase was pushed back. So you can see like all of these little props that would be in the game. It was also all inspired by my old webcomic Interconnected. For any new viewers, I did a comic. So basically, I do so many projects with this character universe, it's insane. I just love experimenting with so many different mediums and so many different things that I use this character universe to kind of like branch out into different areas and just experiment. Because there's so many stories in this character universe that like one story could be a game done in Unity, which there is, and then another is another game done in Unreal. Then we have a picture of Coraline, Marco, and their little son, Ronan. Now, Ronan will come into play a little bit later in the sketchbook as well, but oh my god, I love this. I love this family picture so much. It's so cute. We have another ink rollable picture. I believe this is Aurora, and Aurora is Sophia's daughter. So yeah, I don't think any of this is paint. I think if there is some paint in this, it's very, very minimal. But most of it is done with ink rollable pen. I'm trying to remember what these colours are for. I think it was a scrawler box, but I can't remember exactly what was done for it or like where it belongs. It's slipping my mind. If I've done a video on this scrawler box, I will leave links to it. If I'm talking about various different things during the sketchbook tour, it's because my sketchbooks are kind of like a little bit of a diary. I can remember things about my life that I've done during each of the sketches, during each of the pages. So it's very much like a cryptic diary. We have a picture of a river. Oh, I believe this is also ink rollable pen as well. When you see this kind of colour of blue, it's most likely going to be ink rollable pen. So this is a sketch. I think the character is supposed to be Coraline, I'm not entirely sure, but I actually ended up using this composition for one of my art fight pieces. I obviously redid it for art fight because I did not want to cheat, but like I was using an idea for a pose that I'd previously already sketched out. Then we have some swatches. My sketchbook is just going to be filled with swatches of like different art supplies. I've had to make my piece with it, and so do you. I think this was Cotman watercolour from a scrawler box. I might have had the idea to combine boxes because there's two separate like prompts down here. One is Off the Wall and the other one is Guardians of the Garden. Oh, so this page I did on my Tenerife holiday of 2024 because we went back to Tenerife for 2024. And here is where I start my art journaling again. I thought it'd be nice to just art journal again since I did it on my first holiday, and it would kind of be like a nice tie-in. Plus, this is towards the end of the sketchbook, and I started this sketchbook with art journaling. This was the view from the restaurant in the morning, and oh, it was gorgeous. Look at the food. Oh, I miss it. I miss it so much. There was a singer in the evening. Oh, she was so good. The strawberry daiquiris were out of this world. It's actually the first time I've ever had a strawberry daiquiri. This was the highest point in the hotel, so like this is actually looking up at that highest point, and so many pictures were taken from this point up here of like looking down at the whole panoramic view. It's incredible. You could see for miles. We went to a cafe named Marietta and we had strawberry sundaes. I had to add all of this drapey greenery because it actually had like walls, like background walls of just green. And they were so, so gorgeous. Then we have by the pool area. So then we go over the page. I've had to censor this page because this actually has a picture of my sister. And because I was drawing from reference, it actually kind of looks like her. So for her privacy, I've just stuck my kneadable eraser over the top of her face. So this picture was done just on the last day. The restaurant we went to, the pizzas, like, they were mostly cheese. The bread was swamped by cheese. And we have some little sketches of Jalal, some swatches of some pens. This is a scrawler box. I just remembered what these markers were. They are Posca markers. I'm an idiot. But yeah, this was for Scrawler Box 105. Scrawler Box 107 was Guardians of the Garden, and this was the Cotman set. Basically, I got straight back to doing Scrawler Box stuff after my holiday. And this is my little colour mixing chart. So this was trying out my new pencil set at the time. So this was around the time that I started using TikTok Shop, and oh no, my bank account does not appreciate that. I think around this time when I brought that pencil set, it was on a flash sale, and it was like the whole set under £5. It's incredible. If you can ever get it at that price, instant buy. Instant. It's incredible. So here you can see a picture of Snoopy. So during December, I was actually dog sitting yes, this picture is actually put in the sketchbook a little bit early, but there was no other space to put it. So this is my nan's dog, Snoopy, and I was watching him in the middle of December, and when he got comfortable enough to sit next to me on the sofa and just look up at me, I had to take a picture. And this is actually testing out my new mini printer that I got off TikTok shop for Christmas. It's a little thermal printer that I also used at the beginning of the sketchbook. This picture at the beginning of the sketchbook is actually Christmas dinner. We have a picture of Sophia. Those 4 Candies pencil colour leads are insanely pigmented. Then we get on to the last few pages in this sketchbook. These were actually done during a video for a sketchbook session type of video. I was focusing on a lot of stuff for my Kingdom of Akrel, the Mermaid Kingdom. This little necklace is actually Coraline's necklace. So that family portrait of Coraline, Ronan and Marco that you saw, this would be Coraline's necklace, and Ronan inherits it when she passes away. So we have this kind of pendant design. So I'm not sure whether you can see, it does actually appear in the footage, but this is kind of like a blue periwinkle kind of colour paint that sparkles like this gold, and it's so gorgeous. It's from Lizzie's Studio Watercolours on Etsy, and I absolutely adore it. Funnily enough, it wasn't actually one that I brought, it was one that I got as a freebie. We have a picture of Coraline done in gouache, my Himi gouache. I'm definitely planning on getting another set of gouache. Even though I love my Himi gouache, it's not light fast. So if I ever wanted to use it in commissions and stuff, it's not really something I'd be able to do, because when doing commissions and original artwork that I plan to sell, I need supplies that actually last long. The only way to sell artwork using this gouache is if I was to sell prints or stickers or products that I could reproduce after scanning in a piece of artwork that's done with that supply. Then we have a picture of Loki. This was actually inspired by the Christmas portrait I took in The Sims of Loki. I really wanted to test out my new Guangna acrylic pens, so I had to do something. This was only with the 36 set. Now I have the 168 set, because when doing this page, I fell in love with these pens. And I was like, it's Boxing Day. The Boxing Day sale ain't gonna last for long. And I have Christmas money. Let's expand the collection. So the last main double page spread of this sketchbook, you can see over here, we have my character, Alessia. She is one of the fire princesses of Cinderash. This was done using my acrylic markers. I'm pretty sure that these 2 pages were done while I only had the 36 set as well, so I was making do with the colours that I had at the time. This page is a poster type composition of storylines that are going to be happening to the royal children of Hallie. So in the middle we have Felix. He is the troublemaker. He is the causer of all the chaos. He is also the oldest and supposedly the crown prince of Hallie. But he had to go and fall in love with another crown royal. The last person he should have ever fallen in love with was Crown Princess Kiyomi of Henlon and Artro. And these two, oh my gosh, they are chaos incarnate and I love them to bits. However, they cause so much pain for Adrian, Ronan and Orion. Felix is with Felix falling in love with Yumi. His brother Adrian has to take over the role as Crown Prince of Hallie. This is very sad for Adrian and his boyfriend Ronan, because they've been friends since they were children and it eventually turned into something even more than that. Ronan is the Crown Prince of Akrel, which means that Adrian is essentially in a catch-22. Neither option for him is great. If Adrian was to stay with Ronan, he would be exactly the same. He'd be doing exactly the same as what his brother is doing to him. Adrian giving up Ronan means that he's now got the huge pressures of being the Crown Prince. The other option is to stay with Ronan, but that would make him just as bad as Felix, because Ronan is the Crown Prince of Akrel. Adrian is left with no choice but to break up with Ronan. He doesn't want to put that pressure onto Orion, the same that was put onto him from Felix. Orion is the third son of Brandon and Lucille. This next part is going to be a spoiler, so you've been warned. Orion's life changes very early on. When Orion was a baby, Lucille and Brandon take their 3 boys to a celebration in a corral. This celebration was destroyed and raided by a Huxley army. During the commotion, baby Orion is kidnapped by his maternal grandfather and is raised elsewhere. He is found as a teenager just before the events of Felix, Adrian, Ronan, and Kiyomi happen. This is why Adrian's choice is a lose-lose, because Orion has only recently come back into the family fold. He has no idea how to be a prince at all. I don't think Orion would even be referring to his parents as mom and dad yet. Orion's expression in this poster design is one of contempt, especially for Felix. Orion grows closer to Adrian than he does to Felix, and he sees Felix as incredibly selfish for what he's doing to his brother. This is the little sister of the 3 Halley brothers. Her name's Antonia. Her story doesn't start up until later, and plus I still need to work out a few of the details for her. I would say if I was to add one more character to this, it would actually be Alessia, which is on this page right here, because Alessia becomes Orion's rock, as she is intended to be Orion's love interest. Then this page is just some swatches of some new watercolour that I got. This is the colour changing watercolour that I got from Lizzie's Studio Watercolours. Look at the colour shift, it is gorgeous. So these ones are the ones that I actually brought, and these 2 at the bottom I actually got as freebies. The one called Finch is actually on that seashell pendant on the last few pages. You can see it shine, it's gorgeous. And last but not least, on the pocket of this, there's nothing in the pocket because there was the stickers in the pocket, but now there isn't. But on the pocket itself, I've actually drawn a picture of Jelena. Jelena being the gender bend of my character Jalal. I just wanted an excuse to test out that gold paint, the Christmas gold paint. It's gorgeous. I don't even know if the camera is doing it justice. This washi tape is Bailey J washi tape. But yeah, that is the end of the sketchbook. I really hope you enjoyed it. It's been a long one. I didn't intend for this sketchbook to take a 1.5 years to complete, but here we are. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!